Something that I struggled with my whole life is where I looked at other people, and this is just human nature where we compare ourselves even when we don't want to. But I would look at other people's lives and watch what they're doing the whole day whilst I'm just scrolling on my phone in bed doing nothing. And you know, when you don't do anything, you feel more tired, and then you just continue scrolling on your phone, and it's an ongoing, never-ending cycle. Breaking at it, it took me the realization and the fear that I'm gonna be continuing living like this just as a secondary character in life, not doing anything and not achieving anything. And that scared me, and that forced me to change. That forced me to go out, delete social media, start working on myself, start working on my physical health, my nutrition, my mental state, educating myself. I never took anything seriously in my past, and I'm still young and I'm still learning, but looking at other people's lives can be good and bad. Good in the sense that you can teach yourself from their mistakes and educate from what they know and the specialties that they have. I want to emphasize life and not just knowledge and education and things like this, because I think this is two separate things, and people tend to confuse this, where they would look at their lives and see what are they doing day-to-day basis. Let me just copy that and then I'll end up like that, because that's not how it works. You have to form your own life. You have to form your own behaviors, your own actions. And all of these things, I stand by this, where your actions build you up as a person. They build up your perception of yourself and how you view yourself based on the daily activities that you do. People don't separate educating yourself versus looking at useless things that don't matter. The effect of social media, where people post their best versions of themselves, and it depends on the account obviously, but most of the time people don't like to be perceived as bad. They want to be perceived as desirable towards other people, so they post versions of themselves where in real life you would look at them and be like, whoa, like that's really not intimidating, that's really not what it seemed like what you were posting yourself to be at. Where obviously the idea that you don't know a person based off a few interactions with them. In fact, most of the time we don't even know people at all, even the people that we're closest to. But that's a whole different topic. It's normal to compare ourselves, but you can minimize it. That's the thing. You can start off by just deleting social media. If you can be honest with yourself and say that this is doing me more harm than good. The reason I deleted social media was because I had nothing to contribute, and I was just looking at things and not educating myself, and I'd think back at the end of the day and be like, what have I learned? I don't remember any of the TikToks, any of the Instagram posts that I've looked at that are memorizing to me. Mostly I learned everything from YouTube. Now, another way to minimize looking at other people's lives and comparing is to do more with your own life. And by that, I mean keeping yourself busy, because like I said, actions build the perception you have of yourself. And that is the most important thing you can have going for yourself, because it translates into your career, your personal relationships, work relationships. Not letting yourself get disrespected, like in every way you could think of. Your perception of yourself plays a significant role, even when you don't know it. So when you build these actions that can back up the way you view yourself, it's not picture perfect, it's not black and white. The point is that these actions that you do on a daily basis and what you do with your life every single day and the habits that you have, they are you. Now, exercising is completely important, where people are just finding out the positive effects on mental and your physical well-being. Mentally, it's clearing, it gives you boosts, it makes you feel better about yourself, confidence levels, especially when you feel like the mental version of yourself aligns with the physical version of yourself. But it takes time. This whole process, it's not short term. You have to realize that the hard things that you do and like the suffering that you put yourself through is what ends up being the most sustainable form of development. I want to summarize by saying that yes, it's important to look at other people and educate yourself on what things you like, what things you don't like, and based on their mistakes and learn from that. But to look at what they're doing and comparing yourself to them at where everyone is at different stages of their lives at current moments, and you don't know what they've done to get there, where it turns into more of a negative thing of comparing yourself and where it plays on your self-esteem. This is when you have to start considering what things are in your control, and what you tend to realize is that a lot of things that you do on a daily basis are in your control. So your actions, and whether you believe it or not, your confidence is also in control, and your confidence plays a significant role on comparisons with other people. Because if you're more confident with yourself, you tend to compare yourself less to other people. And you tend to be less defensive when something does arise. So be honest with yourself and realize what it is you're struggling with and what the roots are from what the issue is and where the comparisons come from, and that you have nothing really going for. So establishing all these principles with yourself. Most of the growth does happen in difficult situations. Hopefully you guys learned something today. If you have any questions and any other ideas that I forgot or missed at, please do comment them below and tell me your opinions on this.